What's up, everybody? Happy August. We're working from a hot spot, so a little different scene for me today. Mason, you're plugged in and ready to go, man. I love it. I love it.
Ready to roll.
But we were talking a little bit beforehand about a lot of folks that, hey, look, you're right where you are now isn't the right spot. Maybe you need more space, maybe you need less space. And especially for clients that are looking on downsizing, we find this a lot where people are really looking at buy before sell programs. So I thought this is a hilarious little picture for us today. So, Mason, talk a little bit about that. Like, what are you seeing people want to do?
Yeah, I feel like we're seeing that more and more these days. Many of our clients need to sell their home in order to purchase their replacement property. Like you said, whether that's to get a bigger home or whether that's to downsize. And a lot of people, a lot of their wealth is tied up in their equity in their home. So, for us, sometimes we can negotiate contingent offers, meaning they have the right to sell their home first, close concurrently on the properties, basically do both the buy and the sale at the same time. And we've navigated a couple of those this year, but there's still some really competitive situations out there right now. So we're still
Mm.
seeing at different price points, sometimes multiple offers within the first couple of weeks, and a lot of craziness going on. So in those instances, we lean on our lender partners like you, Austin, for options like bridge loans and ways to pull some of that equity out and, purchase your replacement property before you sell your property, make a non-contingent offer so you look stronger coming in.
Yeah, and I think that that's the creativity, right? So, if you qualify for both houses and you've got the down payment, awesome, great. Like, let's just move on. But a true buy before sell program is going to ignore the property that you're leaving, right? Whether you are using your own down payment, whether we're using bridge fund, it's going to allow you to qualify to where you're going and simply ignore where you are now. That said, a lot of clients, like you said, the equity is tied up in their house, right? So how do you get it? You can do it a couple different ways. One is a true equity program where it is cross collateralized, the liens touching both properties. And this is really great for those with maybe a limited income stream or a more variable income stream, or some of y'all live off the grid, man, and that's all good, right? Like Mason, we did one for some clients that were selling in Santa Barbara, buying up in Paso. And
Yep.
they unfortunately had a situation where they just came out of bankruptcy, right? They didn't have a lot of cash and we were able to help them buy, what did they buy it, like 1.5 million,
Yeah.
with literally $60,000 cash to close, right? So you can do some of those creative programs. You can do programs where you get your down payment and it also gives you 6 months of payments on your current house so it doesn't feel like you have double payments, right?
Right,
You could do
right.
a line of credit. But I think the main thing that when you're talking to the clients about the buy before sell program, a lot of people say like, "Oh, it's expensive." Right? What are some ways that you outline the cost? Now, I know you're not necessarily the lender, right? So we're the ones with the calculator over here, but when we're talking about it and people are like, "Oh my gosh, it costs me money." What do you think people really need to keep in mind, right? Because it's not just the money.
No, of course, absolutely. I mean, a couple things. I mean, for some of our clients, it's well worth the extra fees associated with it because they want to secure that dream replacement property. And if they have to pay a little bit more to make that happen, they say it's well worth it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not uncommon these days in multiple offer situations for people to go, 10 grand, 25 grand over asking price, what have you. So if you have to do that for lender fees and you're going to secure your dream home, a lot of people are willing to make that happen. Some people view it as a luxury option as well because it's really nice to be able to buy your replacement property before you sell your home. It's just a little less chaotic. Gives you more time to move, gives you more time to take care of everything with your house and not be, closing on one property the same day and, moving into your next home the next day. So it alleviates that a little bit too. It's the same way when we do reverse 1031 tax exchanges. A lot of people don't even know that that's a product for investors. And same thing, the idea of they want to secure that ideal investment property first and then have the luxury of selling their other property first. Doing that kind of reverse 1031 has worked well for our clients in the past too. So that's really the ideal client that we're seeing these programs for. But how about you guys?
Yeah, ditto. And I think that one thing that people also need to remember is yes, time is money in a sense. And yes, some of these options are more expensive than if you didn't need them. Every option that's more creative is a little bit more expensive. But what are you trading, right? I think that if you're in a situation where if you need to do some improvements on your property and get your stuff out to get the best price, well, then you just made that money up, right? Like
Yeah,
if you need
absolutely.
to Perhaps, you have a family situation. Like we had clients with a newborn, and they're like, we are not moving like in one day with a newborn, right? This is
Yeah.
not happening, right? So, those are things we have to remember that these are designed to give you space and give you a little bit freedom. And I think too, we've talked about selling, but some clients need to rent their current place in order to qualify for the new program. So there's a lot
Right.
of different
Absolutely.
ways to work around versus just having that lease.
Yeah, no, very true. Absolutely. And also, that's why we love working with your team so much is there's so many different options out there. And a good lender is going to be able to get creative. They're going to be very familiar with all those different programs. They're going to be hyper focused on their client's best interest and putting together that game plan because in certain situations, the programs that we talked about today are absolutely applicable and they're the best option for our clients. So,
Yeah, exactly. And, I always give the honor right back, but I think this is where it's super important to have somebody like you that says, what is this going to cost the client and how do I negotiate that? Right?
yeah.
How do I
Yeah.
make sure the property they're getting into or the property they're selling is giving some absorption of that cost? Because not everybody thinks that way. So I'm always grateful for it.
No, very true. Do we get a closing cost credit? Are we going to be able to boost the value of the property that we're selling? There's way to recoup those funds and make your dreams happen without a doubt.
Yeah, 100%. Well, y'all, let us know. We're always happy to move on to wherever you need to be. Mason, thank you again. I always appreciate your insights and shares. It's just such a great partner to have in the market too.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much, Austin. You're amazing. Really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.